Hi guys, Mr. Dalton here, and I'm back again with another lesson idea for you. And this one is going to be our final gymnastics sequencing lesson. That doesn't mean that we're not going to do any more gymnastics lessons. That's just the last one that we focus on our rolls, jumps and balances, and then putting them together in a sequence. So, today's lesson is going to be structured a little bit like this. I'll teach you a couple more balances, and then we will get on to how we can sequence our moves. Right, so the first balance we're going to look at, they're quite simple balances, is going to be called the front support. So, I'll show you from the front angle, then I'll show you from the side so you can see how it's meant to look. And all you need to do is you need to get yourself right on your tippy toes, okay? Up like this. And you should almost be like a diagonal, okay? A little bit like a press-up position, but on the tops of your feet. So from the side, that will look a little bit like this. You're almost diagonal. Okay, you're going to hold that balance. Okay, good. And the second balance I'm going to teach you is called the rear support. So because we're facing forward, we're facing to the front on our front support, the rear support is exactly the same, but we're facing the other way. Okay, so I'll show you from the side, then I'll show you, so, like this. So we're on our heels, okay, and we've got to make sure what I'm doing is wrong actually. Our hands need to be facing back up our body like this, not out to the side. They've got to be pushing, our fingers have got to be pointing almost towards our toes. I'm going to hold that balance, see how I'm my body's like a diagonal. Okay, fantastic. So, now I think we looked at 6 moves in Gymnastics 1, 6 moves in Gymnastics 2, we've looked at 2 moves now, so therefore we've got 14 moves we can choose from, if I've done the maths correctly. I think I have. What I've done prior to this video is I have written my sequence. I've picked 8 moves that I'm going to perform, and I'm going to make sure that they try and get them to flow. I've picked them so they do have a natural flow to them. So I've written them on a piece of paper, and I would encourage you guys to do the same. I would say write your sequence. I've picked a sequence of 8 moves, you can pick a sequence of 10, you could pick a sequence of 4. It's completely up to you. Challenge yourself though, give yourself that bit of a challenge to make sure it's not too easy for you. So I want to start with a forward roll, and then I want to go into a pike jump. So remember, our pike jump is our legs forward like that and try to touch our toes, good. Then front support, which we've just looked at, into a hollow, where we're on our tummy, we're up into a dish, then up to rear support, up into a tuck jump, and we're going to end with a teddy bear roll. So that's going to be my sequence. In order to make that sequence flow, we've got to make it well presented. In gymnastics, it's all about presentation. Okay, if everything looks a bit sloppy and a little bit robotic and things, if you were being scored, you probably wouldn't get as high a score as you might do if you were to make sure it looks sleek. Okay, so to start with, you're going to either put your hands up in the air or out to the side. I might put mine out to the side just because I'm close to the ceiling there. So I'm going to put them out to the side, okay, and then I would begin. And at the end, when I finish, I'm going to get up, back into the same position I started, and I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do the exact same. So if you went up to start with, you're going to come back at the end and go up again. Alright, but out to the side, you do the same, out to the side. Fantastic. That's called presentation. That's making sure that your sequence is presented to the best of your ability. Fantastic. Right, without further ado, I'm going to get on with my sequence. We're going to see how we get on, and then I would expect you guys don't just go through it once and go, that's me done. I want you to go through it again and again and again until you are happy with your sequence. I'm just going to try and quickly memorise the moves I'm doing. So forward roll, pike jump, front support, hollow dish. Because what you don't want is, after my forward roll. I don't want to get up and go, what do I say? Oh, it's pike jump next. Because that takes away from the presentation of the sequence. Okay, so, right. We're going to begin our sequence now. Okay, so that was my sequence, that was my go at my sequence. Obviously it's the first time I've run through that, so there are a couple of things I might change. So for example, when I get up and from my pike jump into my front support, I went round to the side of my mat. I'm not quite sure why I did that. Next time I would probably go, I'd just turn and I'd do my front support from here. It might be because I didn't want to show you that angle of me whilst I was filming, but next time I will do that. So instead of doing my front support this way, I would do my front support this way, which would then have a knock-on effect on all my other moves. So it's about that. You guys assess yourself. See what you guys can do better. If your parents are there watching you and giving you support, maybe they could give you some pointers. Say, oh, I think you could do that move a little bit better. Or think about changing your moves to a different order. You guys have got to assess yourself because I'm not there to tell you, I'm afraid. What would be great is if you guys could film your sequences and send them in. I'd love that because I'd love to see what moves you guys have incorporated and how you've made them flow and how you've presented them. So, well done there guys. Quite a tough lesson, but it's one that I want you to go over and over and over again. Practice your sequences, ready to show and present them. You guys have smashed it today. Well done. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.